They took his wife, burned his house. This was his revenge. They took everything. His wife, his home, his peace, and they thought he'd just disappear. They were wrong. Welcome to the Crime Story Vault, where we unveil real crimes, unsolved cases, no faces, just truth. If you crave the untold, the unexpected, and the deeply human side of true crime, you're in the right place. Don't forget to hit the subscribe now for intriguing crime stories. Let's dive into the story. Caleb Monroe was 42, a quiet man, former Army Ranger, now a mechanic in a small Oregon town called Ashridge. He lived on 5 acres just outside the city limits, a red cabin surrounded by trees and silence. His wife Marlene was his anchor, warm, loud laugh, taught at the local elementary school. Everyone loved her. Their life was simple, safe, until the wrong men knocked on the wrong door. It started with the land. A development company wanted to buy the forest around their home. Big money, subdivisions, strip malls. Caleb refused. They offered more. He still refused. That's when the threats began. Anonymous letters, slash tires, strange cars idling at night. Then, silence. He told Marlene not to worry, that they were just bluffing. That was his mistake. Friday night, October 3rd, Caleb got home late. Marlene's car was in the driveway, but the lights were off. He opened the door. Smoke. Silence. The fire started in the kitchen. The police ruled it accidental, but Caleb found a gas line pulled and Marlene's wedding ring on the floor near the back door. There were no signs of a break-in, no suspects, just bad luck. 2 weeks later, the cabin burned completely. Arson. Still no arrests. Caleb lost everything, except the feeling in his gut. This was not random. This was personal. He tried the legal route, filed reports, spoke to lawyers. No one would touch it. The land developer, Rainbrook Holdings, was tied to a local politician, Senator Whitlow. Too many connections. Too much money. So Caleb went quiet. But he didn't give up. For 8 months, Caleb vanished. He sold what little was left, bought a used RV, moved between towns under a different name. And every night, he studied. He studied the company, the shell corporations, the donations, the bribes, the security schedules, the family ties. He built a wall of evidence. Then he started picking them off. Not violently, but surgically. He sent encrypted emails to journalists, leaked IRS documents, exposed internal memos, whistleblower accounts. One by one, Rainbrook's board members were investigated. Then came the fireworks. He hacked into the senator's private server, found proof of land grab deals, fake permits, offshore accounts, turned it over to a former FBI agent turned podcaster. The story blew up. Senator Whitlow resigned under pressure. Rainbrook CEO was indicted, and the Ashridge project was shut down indefinitely. Climax. But Caleb wasn't done, because justice in headlines isn't the same as closure. One night, the man who delivered the original threats, a former security chief named Darren Carr, found himself locked in his own cabin. Gas leaking. Phone lines cut. He panicked, but on the floor was a letter, scrawled in pen. "You burned my home. Now feel the heat." But the house didn't burn. Caleb didn't light it. He let him squirm, let him cry, then let the sheriff find him. Next to documents tying him to 4 other land fires, Darren was arrested, charged with conspiracy, arson, and manslaughter. Resolution. Life lessons. Caleb never showed up in court. He didn't need to. He left Ashridge for good. No fanfare, no interviews, just a quiet post mailed to a reporter. A map of every corrupt land deal made in the last 10 years, and the names of those who signed them. They tried to silence a man who had nothing left to lose. But grief can become something dangerous. Not rage, not revenge, precision, patience, purpose. Sometimes justice doesn't come from a courtroom. It comes from a man with a broken heart and a long memory. Click the subscribe button now so you'll be the first to get notified for more true crime stories. The fire was out. The arrests were made. But Caleb Monroe knew the rot went deeper. Because for a crime like that to happen, someone else had to help hide it. It's been 9 months since the fire, since Caleb burned their empire down with truth. Rainbrook Holdings was in ruins. Senator Whitlow resigned. The man who delivered the threats, Darren Carr, was now behind bars. But Caleb's war wasn't over. He'd uncovered proof that others knew what happened to Marlene and said nothing. There were police reports that were edited, emails that were never filed, permits that were rushed, and one name kept coming up. Detective Ray Mercer, Ashridge's golden boy, decorated, polished. He was the lead investigator on Marlene's case, and he was the one who closed it in 3 days. Accidental fire. No foul play. Case closed. Caleb remembered Mercer's words clearly. Sometimes bad things happen to good people. You just move on. He never forgot. Caleb dug deeper. Mercer's record was spotless, but too clean, until Caleb found the old case files. Digital timestamps didn't match. Photos were missing. Statements were altered. And one image, the gas line pulled from Marlene's kitchen, was never submitted into evidence. Mercer had scrubbed the crime scene. Why? Then came the transfer records. Right after the investigation closed, Mercer's wife got a sudden job offer with Rainbrook's legal team. A $30,000 signing bonus. All legal. All clean. But Caleb had seen this before. Loyalty bought in silence. Caleb didn't want Mercer arrested. He wanted Mercer to confess. So he played the long game again. He sent an anonymous package to Mercer's home. Inside, a copy of the original crime scene photo. A note that read, "I remember. Do you?" Days later, Mercer started spiraling. He missed work, was spotted pacing in the woods near Caleb's old property. Then came the leak. Caleb released a full audio of Mercer's body cam from the night of the fire. Something the public had never heard. Looks like arson to me. Should I log it all? A voice off screen replies, "We got orders. Filed under accident." Mercer's voice cracks. She was still alive when the fire started. That was all the press needed. Mercer resigned. He wasn't charged yet, but he was done. And his wife quietly left Rainbrook's legal team 2 weeks later. One by one, Caleb began exposing every person who played a role in covering up Marlene's death. A fire inspector who faked a report. A lawyer who forged land titles. A banker who laundered donations. He didn't attack them. He just leaked the truth. To journalists. To victims. To watchdog groups. And the house of cards kept falling. Caleb didn't want fame. He never used his real name. But those in Ashridge started calling him something anyway. The Quiet Storm. Because he never raised his voice. He just gathered facts. And buried people with them. Some men fight with fists. Some fight with guns. But the most dangerous are the ones who fight with truth and nothing to lose. Click the subscribe button for more true crime stories like this.